Hey, everybody, welcome to the Process 34 podcast. Today, we have a very special guest with us. Somebody I've known pretty much my entire life, going on, third grade? So
About 30 years.
25 plus years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a long time. Just an amazing individual, very talented musician, very bright, very kind, just like I said, just an amazing individual. My good friend Beni Schlatter. What's up, Benny?
What up, though?
So what's been going on with you, man? What's new?
Uh, man, just getting over some sickness.
Yeah.
Had a cold last week. So,
Like just a regular old school cold or
y-
allergies or okay.
yeah, just a cold.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be healthy again.
Yeah,
Nothing like a
absolutely.
little sickness to make you appreciate good health.
Right? Bring in the spring.
Yeah. But other than that, man, just celebrating my wife's birthday and just working, trying to
Yeah.
trying to stay consistent.
What are you doing for work now?
Playing and teaching music.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, in one way or another. I do various forms of teaching and playing.
Yeah. So So, for those of you that don't know, Benny is a very talented musician. He's been doing it since I've known you, probably even longer than that. I know when you're now down in the Detroit area, but when you were living in Flint, you were doing like a mobile teaching thing for the kids. Are you still doing that? Was it something similar to that, right?
Yeah, I was working for a guy named Farlon Randall who runs Bangtown Productions, and they do like mobile studio stuff, going into schools and songwriting and recording with kids.
Okay,
So I'm not doing that right now, but I am doing like I bring a bunch of percussion stuff into a classroom of like autistic students
nice.
and like do like music basics stuff with rhythm basics with them and
That's
try to
cool.
get them playing a little bit and working on some basic music skills. So that just finished
Nice.
up last week. I was in five different classrooms for once a week, 8 for 8 weeks.
Like same school or different schools or what?
Yeah, same school. There's this
Okay,
organization I work with called Michigan Arts Access that gets artists of all kinds into special needs classrooms because they usually
that's
don't have
awesome.
arts classes. Yeah. So it's challenging at times, but it's also pretty cool what you can see people do that you might not think can achieve on a certain level,
Right.
what they're capable of.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it so you said it's like autistic kids and is it always special needs or do you just
Yeah, that's the
okay.
purpose of Michigan Arts Access.
Okay.
I do other teaching just to like private one-on-one lessons, and that's like at
Okay,
my
cool.
house and at people's homes. But the mobile stuff right now is just like all I show up with some drums and a suitcase full of percussion stuff.
That's so cool. What a cool idea.
It's
Um,
fun, man. It's fun. Like I said, there's challenging aspects of it, but there's a lot of
right.
good resiliency that it breeds.
Yeah, absolutely. And I bet it I mean, probably breaks up their day nicely too and,
Yeah,
definitely gives them a new way of learning and adapting, all
yeah.
that. So,
Another way to practice like social skills
absolutely.
and yeah, just another way they can express themselves. Certain kids, you see them come out of their shell in ways that they never had before, which is pretty cool.
Right. Have you been outdone?
Say what?
Have you been outdone yet by any of them?
Uh,
Outperformed?
no. I mean, but that's not really the point of it either, though.
I know.
Um, no, there's kids that surprise you, and kids that just
Yeah,
hold down like
absolutely.
they might not say a word to you, but they hold down a steady beat.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I've known Benny since third grade, Rankin Elementary. Met you in Miss Welch's class,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember vividly the multiplication test, and then the nicknames. You were, I believe, Ben Jammin.
Mm-hmm.
And I went with CD or compact disc back then in the 90s. So
That was
for
that
my
new
initials,
stuff.
obviously,
That
yeah,
was that new
exactly,
cool stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Um,
that Dairy Queen trip.
Yeah, or the Samaritos from Sam's. That was
Yeah,
always my favorite, I think.
and you got to go
Yeah.
on the Cedar Point trip at the end of the year too, right?
Did we?
Miss Welch took like a handful of kids. I thought you were on that group. It was like
Really? I
I know
possibly. I don't remember.
Greg, Hanji, Brock Hall, and
Okay.
then somebody that she was like a big brother to a kid. I think his name was John.
Okay. Yeah, I do not recall that. I'm guessing no because I'm terrified of roller coasters, so I
Okay.
probably even if I would have got invited, I probably would have said no. So but maybe, I don't know. Greg Handy. Well, I haven't heard that name in forever.
I see him
Um
once in a while, man. He lives like 10 minutes from me down here.
oh yeah, I forgot he moved down that way. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
he moved to the school district that I was doing those special ed classes in just most recently, Clawson.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Where are you in Oak Park?
I'm in Oak Park.
Yeah, okay. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, so anyways, like I was saying, I just since day one, I mean, like you and Nick and Jordan, I think were like my first friends at a new school. I just moved to the Carmen district
Where'd you move
from
from?
the city of Flint schools.
Okay.
I was roughnecking it, man. I was out there. As in I think what was the name of that school?
Okay.
Another Elementary
Yeah.
through second grade, and then we moved to Carmen District. So met Benny, and right away, just like super welcoming, just the friendliest kid I've ever met in my life. Immediately, just made me feel at home and welcome. So that I noticed like throughout my whole time knowing you, every single person you encountered, pretty much, you were the exact same way with. Just a very welcoming person, gentle, very nice, very kind, and I appreciated it so much, and it's carried with me this whole time. And like I said, every time I see you, dude, it's like day one. Like I, it's we go back a long way, and you're one of the people in my life that my friends where I can, say that you really made an impact on my life because just the way you are as a person. So thank you for that. And like I said, dude, I notice it and I want other people to see it too and notice you because you dude, you're awesome. You're an awesome person, man.
I give it up to my parents, man, for doing
That's what
something, doing.
I was just getting into that because your family is just as amazing, if not more. Like your mom, your dad, your brother, everybody. Um,
Yeah, it's yeah,
you
I'm
guys,
thankful.
yeah, I mean they're awesome, and your parents were originally from Switzerland, correct?
Mhm.
And when did they come over?
76,
76. Okay,
summer of
so then
76. Yeah,
Andy's what, like 81,
80.
80? Okay,
Yeah, born in
okay.
80. I'm born in 83.
So did they like move right into the house that they're still in, your guys' childhood home, or what?
Nah, they lived in Grand Blanc at the what are they, Sunset Village or something, like
Okay,
right on Saginaw Street by the
yeah,
high school there.
yep, okay. I
So they
lived there
lived,
for a little bit.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, they lived
Okay.
there for a few years, and then they got the house that they still have now that I grew up in.
Okay. Nice. So, like you said, thank your parents and you owe it all to your parents. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, just like your upbringing, why you are the person you are, why you are so kind and treat people, the way you want to be treated, basically.
Uh, Man, yeah, I guess that was just modeled for me um by my parents. Like they're good people for the most part, like everybody's got their flaws certainly, but
Yeah.
um yeah, they just yeah, encourage like didn't really allow us to like be too negative to other people. They
Hmm.
like, anytime we were trying to like do stuff like that, it was like, yeah, well, how would you feel if that was you? Kind of,
Right.
you know, real early on, treat others how you want to be treated, golden rule kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And yeah, yeah.
Well, I noticed too, like your whole family. Well, I know your mom and your brother for sure. I don't know about your dad, but they're very artistic people. obviously yourself included. So is that like, is your dad as well or no?
He's creative in his own way.
Yeah.
Uh, he's definitely like more logical brain. He was like an engineer by trade,
Yeah. Okay.
so he got to be creative in like you know a machine kind of way,
Right. Okay.
making machines and stuff like that,
Yeah.
solving problems in that respect.
Okay.
Um, the performing arts, yeah, came a little bit more from my mom's side. My grandpa
Yeah.
played accordion. It's probably one of my
Did he?
earliest musical memories is like watching him play accordion.
Is that on your mom's side?
Hmm.
Okay.
And then my mom always had a guitar in the house, and she played a bit. And then she always did like pottery, and later on took to like colored pencil drawing,
Yeah. Nice.
which is yeah, what she does a lot of now.
Yeah. I've seen, had cranberries, I think, a couple other places I've seen her stuff in, and
Yeah, yeah.
super cool. We'll just look up like, hey, I
Mark
know
Slick.
her.
All right.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was
Good.
so there's creativity all around, just in various forms.
Hmm. What made you gravitate towards music?
Um, when my brother got a guitar and when we were in sixth grade, and then like that was like the grunge rock era.
Yeah.
So like just wanting to be in a band and like be cool like that.
Yeah.
And then I kind of took it. I didn't really take it seriously until after high school. Got into college. Joined that steel drum band up at Mott,
Yeah.
and there were some really serious people there, and that kind of just like lit the fire under me and sent me on that path.
Nice. Um, so like before that though, you were playing the saxophone. Do you ever play the sax anymore, or is it just strictly percussion?
Yeah, it's pretty strictly percussion. I might take it out and mess around, once every few years.
Right.
I mean, now that I got it back, it's been going around to various people, as you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
over the last 10 years.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way. He
Yeah,
uh
yeah,
he
man.
actually loaned it to my daughter, and it was the one that you had when we were in
Yeah,
elementary, which is just crazy. So
yeah,
super cool.
yeah. Good instruments don't really, if they're taken care of, they can last. And
Absolutely.
it's like a good beginner instrument. I don't know how many
Yeah.
professionals will be playing that horn, but
Right. Well, yeah.
maybe. I don't know. I
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
ask.
You never know. You never know. It worked great though, and like I said, it came in handy. So thank you for that. Um, like I said, you spread cheer to so many others, and I know you like to lift other spirits. What is your preferred method of doing so?
Like music or laughter.
Okay, nice. Like
Just
just performing or just playing it in general, or what? Okay,
yeah, yeah. Performing, playing for people. Um, yeah, trying to get them to smile one way or another.
yeah, good.
Yeah, usually through music or trying to crack stupid jokes or say something witty or uh, I try to point out something funny about a situation.
Right. Okay.
Try to keep it
Uh,
light, and not take things too heavy.
were you how hard was it for you to like perform your first time? Was it pretty nerve wracking? Do you still get nervous or
I still get nervous,
yeah.
and I don't. I've got a I don't know, for better or for worse, like I'm pretty confident
Yeah.
in things I do. Uh,
That's good. That's huge.
yeah, it helps. I mean, but sometimes it's like I might not have known how bad I was,
Right.
but back then it was kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
It'll
So you
let
just kind of just go for it. Just put yourself out there.
yeah, and
Yeah.
there was a group of friends that would get together in my basement and just jam on like percussion stuff
Okay.
in teenage years, and that kind of just got me used to playing.
Like
And
around others and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and not really caring how it sounded because like
Okay.
some of it was gonna sound like garbage, but there were gonna be some cool moments.
Right. Yeah. A little jam
Um,
band.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
like that, like transferred over to like some of the KSK stuff. Like I would go
Oh yeah.
like when Tony had the Bangkok, and they would just be
Yeah.
like,
Pancake one.
yeah, have like there would just be jams on like all the metal, like the kitchen
Yeah.
equipment and
Yeah. I
stuff like
remember that.
that.
Yeah.
so by the time I actually started like studying music in school, I was pretty used to just like playing. It was a
Yeah.
little bit weirder to be the only one and have all eyes on you, and that took a little
R-
getting used to.
right. Yeah, I
There were
bet. Like
definitely a lot of failures along the way.
when you so you perform just like solo?
That was part of like the music school thing.
Oh, okay,
A
I got you.
couple times a semester, you had to perform for all the other music students and then get critiqued.
Okay. That would be a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, nobody really enjoyed that.
No, no.
Uh, but it was, it's good experience.
Right, yeah. Where was that at?
U of M Flint.
U of M. Okay, nice. Um, and now you are married to a musician,
Hmm.
very talented musician herself, and you guys are in a band together. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Maria Rose, yeah, yeah. We met at Mott,
Okay.
taking music classes together there, and then started dating and writing music together.
Yeah.
And we haven't really performed that music in a while. I think it's been 6 years
Okay.
since we've been doing
Has it
original
been?
music. Yeah, we still do cover stuff together,
Yeah.
working music, But
Right.
and we've been writing stuff a little bit more lately, but not really playing the original stuff out.
Okay.
That's a grind, man. That original music scene.
I bet. Yeah. That
Trying,
that seems to be original constantly. It seems
yeah,
like
and to get people to pay attention and care about it,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's energy and financially draining.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So now you guys are like focusing primarily on like the wedding scenes and playing gigs like that now, or what?
Yeah, yeah, cover gigs, parties, events. Again, we are still trying to write, but just not
Hmm.
trying to make that
Priority.
the overall focus. Yeah. At
Yeah.
one point we were like, man, we're trying to like make money on this and like make it be our living,
Right.
which it would still be awesome, but like we're a little more realistic in like what original
Right.
music can provide.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of weddings, events, parties, fundraisers.
Yeah. Like you guys stay pretty busy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, especially summertime always picks up.
Yeah.
I've been
You
doing a
ever
lot
go
of
like out of state?
Maria's brother lives in Florida, so
Okay.
for like a month or less in the winter, we go down to Florida, and we're able to hit some gigs down there.
Cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
I'm doing a lot of playing in assisted living homes on the steel drum.
Really?
It,
That's
it's
cool.
it's become this weird existence that I'm living. That's
Okay.
that's kind of like the day, like the weekly day job. Like most weeks, I've got a few days, and some weeks it's like every day.
Like, how did that come about?
I got asked by a piano player in Flint to play with him at one once, and he
Okay.
was like, he was telling me how he liked the gigs because like they pay fairly well on like for an hour. They're in the daytime, so you could still do stuff at night,
Yeah.
doing other gigs. So then when we moved down to Detroit, I just started calling places, and there's like over 350 of them in the Metro Detroit area.
That's wild.
So I just stay on the phone and try to stay have them book me. Some places book me once a month, other places book me like once a year. But it's become pretty consistent, and it's kind of weird. It's a wild place to be in and out of every day. So
Right.
I really feel for the work people that work there.
Yeah.
Like, that's like kind of thankless and underpaid work.
Yeah. Definitely. I agree. What like what do you do though? Do you just like perform for them like and they just
Like,
watch you, or are they like doing activities and you're just playing background music or what?
usually I'm just performing for them, providing
Okay.
entertainment.
That's
I bring
cool.
in a speaker that's got like backup tracks I play too, so it sounds like a full band.
Okay.
Sometimes they're just doing, on background music, but most of the
Yeah.
time it's like everybody's staring at me, maybe sleeping, maybe a couple times or a couple places people will like start dancing. They little
Right.
dance
Well, that's
parties.
cool.
Yeah, it's cool. You get to hear some cool stories, and like people sometimes,
I bet.
have bring back memories from like long ago that they had forgotten,
Yeah.
or their family member tells me they told them something that they haven't told them in like 30 years or something like that. So
Oh, really?
there's some feel good moments. But there's some times where there's just like people screaming and like alarms going off, and you just gotta like
Yeah.
keep going.
Tunnel vision, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That
Um,
resiliency and that focus from having everybody stare at me in school while, like I told you.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I don't
That
what was
helps.
more intimidating? Your
Uh,
peers or the
Probably the peers because it was like earlier in my life and I wasn't as
Yeah,
used to it, and plus I knew that they knew music.
yeah,
Like some right now, if I make a mistake, some people might not even know.
right. Yeah,
But there,
absolutely.
it was just like a very critical ear, and like 30 of them all listening to me. So I'm like,
Right, yeah. Well, and like, everybody is, like, their sole purpose right now is to judge you.
exactly.
So it's like, okay.
Whereas
Like,
in
yeah,
the
that would be scary.
yeah, yeah, in the homes, it's a little more like low key and low pressure.
Yeah.
People just want to like just be transported away for an hour at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would like it. Um, so, like, with your childhood, when you guys, like, did you guys when you and your brother, for instance, did you guys ever play music together when you were kids, or did it just happen, like, later on when you were, like, more towards your teenage years?
Yeah, in teenage years, like I was 10 and he was 13. No, wait, I
Okay.
was 12 and he was 15 when we got drums and guitar.
Okay.
And then by the time we got to high school, he had a band, and I was able to join that band for a
Yeah.
year.
What was the name of that band?
Laforia?
Euphoria. Okay. Is that the band wait, what's his other band's name?
Strike Plate.
Strike Blade, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that happened after high school, and
Okay.
they got kind of big in the Flint scene.
Yeah. Yep, I remember them. I remember that name. I don't remember the Euphoria, though. Is that, like, early?
Yeah, that was high school.
Oh, okay, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, that ended when he graduated.
Yeah. Okay. Did you guys ever go back to Switzerland?
Yeah, yeah. The trend was for a while every 4 years, and then it turned into like 6 years, and now it's been 8 years since I've been.
Okay. Like,
But
you still have a lot of family over there, or
yeah, yeah, all the family.
Okay.
We got a pretty small family. I only got four cousins,
Okay.
four aunts and uncles, but they're all over there.
Are they pretty close to your age? The cousins?
Yeah, most of them. One of them's I think like 8 years older, but all the
Okay.
other ones are within a year or three.
Nice. I know you guys travel a lot too. Is that pretty important to you?
Yeah, I think for my parents, like they traveled a lot before I came into the world, and they just kind of
Okay.
kept doing that when me and my brother came along, which I'm super fortunate to have done,
Yeah.
and that kind of just opened me up to how wide the world is and how many different ways there are to live and different places to see, different
Yeah,
things to
absolutely.
experience, and yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
yeah, really, I think that helped me like become a more understanding person, just seeing how different people live. Like
right.
it's all humans, working and eating, but
Mhm.
it takes on a lot of variations.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your favorite destination?
Um, Man, I don't know. There's
Yeah.
various places. Switzerland's beautiful.
Yeah.
Um,
I could only imagine.
yeah, I mean, I still like coming back to Flint because it's
Yeah.
nostalgic,
Yep.
and it's got its own charm to it.
It does. People don't understand it. I mean, I think you just have to be from here to understand
Yeah,
it. So,
and it's mainly in like the people. You meet some like pretty down to
yeah.
earth and like some interesting people.
Yeah.
Some down and out people, and that kind of gives you an appreciation for certain things in life too. But
Yeah. 100%. What like what do you still you said you haven't been in 8 years, so obviously you've still been going as an adult to Switzerland. So do you guys have anything planned on the horizon or no?
hopefully next year, but
Okay.
we got to see how this year shakes out.
Right.
Yeah, me and my brother were talking about trying to get a whole family trip going over there again, just kind of again for almost nostalgic purposes. And we used to do that as kids. It'd be fun to do it as adults.
Yeah, for sure. Has his
But
kids been?
no,
Okay.
that would be their first time.
Oh, that would be cool then.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be real cool for them to see some
Absolutely.
ancestry.
Right, yeah. So how old were your parents when they moved over here?
Just like late 20s, 30,
Oh,
early 30s.
okay. What do you mind me asking why?
My dad's job.
Okay. Okay.
He got a yeah. They once he finished schooling over there, he knew he wanted to leave Switzerland.
Okay.
So I think they had an opportunity to like go to South Africa, but they were not about that. And then there was another job was coming to Michigan.
Okay. That's cool.
'Cause there was
Yeah, I
a branch of the Swiss company. It was in Holly.
Oh, really? That's cool. I've known you this whole time. I've never asked why they came over here. I
Yeah,
mean, it makes sense though.
usually I found it's work or love that brings people
Exactly,
over
yeah.
over.
Yeah. Or or worse,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah, escaping some crazy situation.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so what has carried with you throughout your life that you've learned early on in life that has just been kind of like, I guess, your backbone, so to speak?
That everybody's trying to find happiness, and like that, sometimes leads to conflicts. Like two people's idea of happiness will conflict, but when you look at it like that, you just kind of can be a little more understanding of why people are doing what they're doing.
I like that.
Yeah. And then also just like putting people down to make yourself feel better is like not a good way to operate.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's obviously big. Were you like, is this just stuff that you learned, or is this something that like you were taught as a kid?
It's kind of I learned through experiences, just like some of my own and some of just listening to other people's.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, what what makes you happy?
What makes me happy?
Mhm.
Um, just being surrounded by good people, having good conversation.
Yeah. So you like to
Um,
socialize.
yeah.
Yeah.
Playing music makes me happy. Being able to use my what I've spent a lot of time doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what I've come to think that really what makes life like enjoyable or not enjoyable are relationships, and like
Yeah.
having good relationships in your life.
Absolutely. Making those connections are it's
Yeah.
huge for sure. Definitely. What what makes you feel calm or at peace? What puts you in that
Uh,
state of mind?
there's like I try to do like a drumming practice every day, and
Really?
it's
Okay.
kind of become like a meditative thing almost, like a calming. No matter what's going on, this is always the same,
Okay.
and if I can touch base with that, it kind of like
So
uh
it's like grounding.
yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. How
and
long is it?
I've got it down to about half an hour.
Okay. So just like a beat that you like or what? Like
It's
describe
like
it.
a series of beats and coordination exercises, and then
Okay.
like drumming rudiments, like the language of drumming.
Oh, cool.
There's a routine that was created by a Berkeley College of Music professor that taught a lot of famous drummers, and I came across it, and it's just a good way to stay in shape, but also like gradually push yourself too,
Okay. That's
and just
that's cool.
yeah, and review the fundamentals of the language,
Yeah. What do you mean by language?
like the music language.
Okay. Okay.
Like drumming's got its own kind of language, and music has its own vocabulary.
Okay.
So and drumming has its own vocabulary. So it takes you through a lot of that and different ways to apply it. Uh, well, not so much on the drum set, but yeah, it's just different ways to play through all these like language, like basic chunks of drumming language.
Okay. All right, cool. So, would you consider music to be something that feeds your spirit?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely find the spirituality in music. I mean it is for me. I don't play it, but like I love it, like just love it. Music is just it's one of those things where no matter what kind of mood I'm in, music goes along with it, if
Yeah,
that makes sense.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can
So,
amplify a mood or set a mood
yeah,
or uh yeah, you can tell a story, you can say a lot with just one song or
yeah.
some of it's kind of like, open to the interpreter, especially if it's like instrumental music.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, some of the stuff, like obviously everybody's got their own taste and what, they'll kind of turn to, but like when you're playing it, is it also a good way for you to release emotions to get through things, that sort of stuff
Absolutely.
too? Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely helps me process things. I think anybody kind of benefits from processing things by moving their body,
Yeah.
whether it's exercise or whatever. And like drumming is, pretty physical.
Yeah.
So that
Absolutely.
that helps me move through things and process things and like I find my mind wandering as I'm like going through my routine, maybe to the detriment sometimes of like the drumming, but like mentally, I'm like I'm rolling through things that are going on in my head and things I'm trying to work through or
Really.
decisions I'm trying to make. Yeah, it's kind of like
So it's like meditative.
yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
yeah, it's I'm super thankful to have that outlet. Like drumming on its own is pretty therapeutic.
Right. Well, and
Um,
it seems like you're like kind of transcended into a safe place, so to
yeah,
speak, when you're playing too. Like it's
yeah,
like a bubble.
exactly.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
music's a place where you can try new things and you can fail and nobody really gets hurt. Maybe your ego gets bruised a little bit, but
Yeah.
you can come back from that without major consequences.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and it's another like something to keep me busy for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
If I
And
learn one thing, there's another thing I can learn or another style or
right.
another genre.
Yeah. Do you it's also I'm sure it's helped you like make really important connections in life too, that I'm sure you've met people, obviously your wife and
Hmm.
others that are, that you've built a long lasting relationship with these people through music, right?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. It's like the shared experience of what you got to go through to develop the music skills. A lot of times it's like sitting in a room by yourself for
Yeah.
hours,
Yeah.
but to be around other people that know that kind of existence and can like commiserate or
Right.
you can talk shop with. Yeah,
Yeah, they know the grind. They
yeah,
know the ups and downs and all of it. Um, yeah, I mean that kind of goes with everything. It's just important to. But I feel like music just is one of those things where you can literally have nothing at all in common with someone, and then like you just find out that you like the same genre or the same band or something, and it's that right there just skyrockets the relationship, and
yeah, and you
it
can
just it connects people.
yep. And even just like the one band in common kind of show you what kind of person somebody is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not 100%, but it gives you a little like, oh, okay, if you're into a Tribe Called Quest rather
Right.
than like
Kid
Dayton
Rock.
Family or
Yeah.
Kid Rock, yeah.
Right.
No shade on the Dayton Family, but
Yeah.
it's a different style of rap or
Yeah.
music than like Tribe Called Quest.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, shout out Dayton family. We're not hating at all.
No,
It's all
no,
love, but
DAYTO and AVE is coming real with this.
exactly. There you go. But yeah, it's different. It's a different style. It's all that whole culture. That was a fun movement, that tribe movement, all those artists back then.
Yeah,
Probably one of the best hip hop movements, I would say, since I don't know. I would say that, and like the East Coast thing. But anyways, that's getting off into a whole other thing. But
that's
you
another
know,
podcast.
yeah, that's music though, right? That's just it's just like you can talk about a band, and then 45 minutes later, it's your wife's like, hey, we got to go. Like, hold
Yeah,
on, I just met this dude that likes Modest Mouse. Hold on,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. Music and yeah, music history, that can all just, yeah, be a big vehicle for further discussions. And
Yeah. So, not to turn it to gloom and doom, but, like, I'm sure just like everyone else in, uh, in the world, you have faced some sort of challenges and adversity in your life. I don't know of any off the top of my head. I'm not trying to get anything. I was just curious when you do face something that's hard, that's challenging, that is not an everyday hurdle, so to speak. What is your go-to method for getting through that?
uh, I mean, taking time with it
Yeah.
is one thing, but like again, kind of just being able to like play drums and kind of like bang it out.
Yeah.
That that's such a huge release for me.
Yeah, and you
Probably
seem
be,
go ahead, go ahead.
probably because I've like also tied like a big part of who I am into like music and drumming. So like, it feels like I'm fulfilling a purpose as well as like uh practicing and making myself better.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff wrapped into it.
And you seem to be, from what I know anyways, you're very patient. You're a patient person. And so
It's one
like
of my gifts.
yeah, it's, and trust me, it is a gift because it is so hard. Like I'm not patient at all. I try so hard, man. It's just I wasn't blessed with that. My dad isn't a patient person. My mom isn't, and it's just kind of gone down the list. But what when you say sit with it, is that something you do with like every pretty much important decision and challenge in your life? You just sit with it for a while and
Yeah, I try to sit with it and get to the place where I'm not like as reactionary. When you
yeah,
first something first happens, there's like gut reactions that happen,
yep,
and I try to let those happen, but like not try to like act on them.
yeah,
Um, and I mean, like for whatever reason, back in high school, I got into like reading Buddhism, and
yeah,
like that kind of gave me a little bit of perspective into like not always reacting and having this reactionary mindset. And then like later in life, like doing yoga, like there's very similar things
yeah,
where like you just like you notice thoughts and like you let them pass and you let them be, but like you don't always have to react to them.
yeah, yeah.
And like
That's
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 been huge.
huge.
Yeah. um so yeah, those things have helped me process any kind of heavy situation that I might find myself in.
Yeah,
And sometimes it takes longer than others depending
hmm,
on what it is. And yeah, sometimes it's like months down the road you're like, oh man, I just think I'm finally like over this or like feeling better about this. Or
yeah. Or you're not thinking about it anymore. It's like, oh,
yeah, yeah,
that's nice.
it's had time to pass, and
Yeah,
you can work through it.
I uh I try to practice mindfulness and, to be patient and to, I've read a lot on Buddhism and it's still so challenging for me. It really is. And it's gotten better over the years. Like, 15 years ago, like I was the last person that you would want to make a decision in, in any shape or form. And, now it's like the older I've gotten, the more I've learned, the more experiences I've had. I know, it's like there's certain things where it's just like, hold on, just stop. You know, the last 10 times you did this, it was a bad outcome. So let's just not go that route this time and just sit with it for a minute. And it's becoming easier, but it's such a hard practice to get down and um to show it on a daily basis. If anything, is just seems like such an impossible feat at times.
Yeah, there's so
But
much out of your control, right? And so much that just
yeah,
happens that you gotta choose how to deal with. Or
Yeah, but then when you do it, it's so rewarding, so
Yeah.
there's that, there's the other aspect of it, but that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you can avoid like the bad outcomes, right? Or like the negative outcomes that you don't want.
Yeah, yeah, and, I'm so stubborn, like, I've found out all these things the hardest way possible, but it's like now I know. So, at some point you have to use that experience and that wisdom that you've gained, whether it be the hard way or the easy way, and apply it to your life. So, the fact that you do it and you seem to be very good at it is, high praises to you, my friend, because that's awesome. Like, that's,
Yeah, thanks. I don't, I don't know. I think some of it was passed down.
yeah,
My
I
mom, my
think so
mom,
too.
my mom's a pretty patient person. My dad, not as much.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Well, it depends on what it is.
right.
Certain
Yeah,
things, yeah, you can be mad patient. Other times, it's just flip a
yeah,
lid.
yeah. That's like a dad thing, though, right?
I don't know. Is it?
I think so. I mean, I play that card anyway. So, like, hey,
Yeah.
So do you have like a daily routine that you follow or like a weekly routine or anything?
Um, when I'm on it, I'm waking up. I have some coffee, read the news, and like I'll do my drumming routine in the morning when I'm most fresh. Trying to
Okay.
like get my best energy towards that, and that's kind of the only like daily routine that I try to keep.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I try to have dinner with my wife every night, or like make sure that we have time to connect.
Yeah.
Especially in the last few years, like trying to make a more focused uh, effort at that. We've been together 15 years, so it's easy to like just
Yeah.
start taking things for granted. So just making sure that we're having quality time.
Yeah. That's nice.
So yeah, trying to take care of myself, trying to nurture the relationship. That's
Hmm.
most important to me. If I'm really on it, I'm exercising, 3 4 times a week.
Yeah.
But
What does that consist of? Like,
I've been just lifting weights the last
okay.
like year and a half or so, just trying to like stay strong or
Nice.
get a little stronger and stay strong.
Yeah. No,
Getting older, we're
yeah. That's
I
why
had
I exercise for longevity, It's like
yeah,
I want to be around.
exactly. I had a fall like 2 Novembers ago that like I was feeling it for like 3 months,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was like, man, I that's just this kind of a sign that getting older, like I'm not going to recover as quick. I got to try to do
Exactly.
things to like to stay strong and stay healthy.
Yeah. Man, are you still vegan?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
How long have you
Def-
been a vegan?
a vegetarian since 2010,
Okay.
vegan probably like 2016, 2017.
Okay. And
But
Maria too, right?
yeah,
Okay.
and even before that, like I benefited from my parents being raised on a pretty whole food diet,
Okay.
like whole food in terms of like not processed,
Yeah.
like foods you can recognize that would grow in the ground.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, I'm a firm believer that like food is fuel, and like it totally affects how you think and how you operate,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Definitely.
that's
It's
part that's a huge part of the equation of
yeah.
of happiness and feeling good and living your best life.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to work on that myself and I just started tracking my sleep.
Mm.
Like have you ever tracked your sleep before?
No.
It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. I mean, it's like I'm looking
I
at
know I
my
wake up a lot most nights,
yeah, like
but
I
I
have
also can sleep 8 hours most nights too. Like,
that's that's awesome. I had
yeah,
6 hours last night and guess how long I was in deep sleep for?
20 minutes.
14 minutes. And it's like I think like a like ideal time is like hour and a half to 2 hours somewhere in that time frame.
Because that's like the really restorative sleep, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's where you're getting all your like your recovery from big time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like I'm in like so like the over like the course of the past 3 weeks, I think I've been doing it, and the longest I had was I think I achieved an hour and a half one night, but everything besides that has been like 45 minutes or less. And so then it was like, well, it started making me pay attention more to what I'm putting in my body throughout the day and things that are going on around me, how stressed I am, this, that, and the other, screen time, just all that stuff.
Yeah, what you're doing before bed and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So, I stopped, like, I was like, all right, like there was a few days in a row where I was so tired, I was so exhausted, and now it started making sense because I'm like, every morning I wake up, I feel like I didn't sleep at all, like I don't feel well rested, and I should. Some nights I sleep for 8 hours, and why do I feel like I just fell asleep? So,
yeah,
and then I started paying attention, like I said, to what I was doing. So, if it's like I said, I'm not I'm still in the process of doing this and adapting, so to speak, but it's like, cutting down on sugars is huge for
yeah,
me, and I was having coffee later in the day, and I always thought it didn't have an effect on me because I fell asleep with no problem at all. But,
yeah.
what is it doing up here while I'm sleeping, is the big thing. So,
Yeah, I definitely notice when I drink coffee later in the day. Sometimes I still do it, depending on what's going on.
yeah.
But it's a noticeable difference when
Yeah,
I
it's
don't.
huge.
Or
Yeah,
even like
but
chocolate, like eating
yeah.
chocolate late at night, like that'll kind of make me sleep a little, lighter
Yep.
than if I hadn't.
Yeah, it's so funny because, like, like when I'm younger, it's like I'm ingesting all sorts of just, anything and everything, right?
Yeah,
And now it's like I'm older and it's like, oh man, like slept like shit for the last 3 days. Like, what's going on? Like, oh, I've had a Hershey's bar like late at night, or something. And it's just
yeah.
so stupid. And it's like, all right, well, I guess I can't do that anymore.
I know it makes you feel like you're really getting old. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
gotta watch the chocolate. Gotta.
exactly. Yeah. What is happening to
Yeah,
me?
yeah. It's no joke
But
though, man. Yeah,
it's huge, and it's crazy. Just but what I was trying to get at was the whole food. So I started like like, hey, I gotta really cut back on, like, I don't eat like a bunch of like I'm not eating fast food. I'm not eating a ton of processed foods and stuff, but I have so much stuff going on that it's always convenient things like protein bars, stuff like that.
yeah.
And, so I was like, I gotta try to start getting away from this and like just try to eat more whole foods, nutrient rich foods throughout the day.
But like you said, it does take more time to prepare that kind of stuff.
It does. Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah, like when me and Maria are on it, like Sunday nights, we're prepping a good amount of food for the week, like cutting up like heads of romaine, so salad is as easy as just like throwing it in a bowl, and you don't got to go through the whole wash it, chop it.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
That's not always possible, but
yeah. But I haven't even tried that yet, and it's like, I know I should, but it's still like I think laziness plays an effect, obviously, and time too. Like you said, it does take a lot of time to prepare all that stuff. But now that I'm starting to actually see the effects and like what is happening and what is happening to me while I think I'm resting and recovering and I'm not at all,
yeah,
it's got me thinking twice. So definitely, definitely going down that road here.
yeah, yeah. Um,
So what kind of benefits do you receive internally, just knowing that you made someone smile for the day, knowing that you made someone's day in general, just lifting someone's spirits?
um, what kind of benefits do I receive?
Yeah. Like, what does that do for you?
Um, I guess it makes me feel good. It makes me feel connected to people in the world.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I've been on the opposite end of it, where just like a small gesture from someone, has like kind of like made me just kind of turn my day around and like maybe turn a dim perspective into like a brighter one.
Hmm.
So just knowing that that's all it takes sometimes, and like
Exactly. Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, little things matter because all
It's
life is just like a collection of little things.
yeah, simple, man.
Yeah.
Simple
Uh,
kindness. Kindness goes so far. It's I
yeah, and when I read the news and I know all the of a lot of the bad stuff that's happening in the world. So like
mhm.
I kind of go back to like high school, Mr. Fisher. I remember him saying like, "Don't you just want to leave this world a little bit better than you found it?"
Yeah,
And like I think I do. Like I feel like I've been lucky and blessed with a pretty good life. So like I feel like a lot of other people should be able to experience the good things in life.
yeah.
'Cause
No.
it's a blessing to be alive. It's a really we're super lucky and it's an opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, I always try to practice gratitude, and I always try to tell myself, like, know where you were 10 years ago and where you wanted to be, but also know that there is always, 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 always at least one person who wished and prayed they had it like you.
Yeah.
At least one. So, it's important, dude. It's so important to practice gratitude.
Yeah, I mean, you think about all the things that had to happen for you to even be born.
Yeah,
Like that's like
exactly.
a 1 in a billion chance.
Yeah. Yeah, just everything in general, it's like you cannot take anything for granted. We've seen people that we've, grew up with that are no longer here. And,
Hmm.
it's just, you definitely gotta be grateful, and you gotta give thanks. And, like I said, spread the kindness, because it does, like I'm guilty of it myself. I find myself on autopilot, in a funk or something one day, and every little thing is pissing me off. And, and then like somebody will, just do something kind for me, or, just simply like just let me out in traffic or something. And it's like,
Yeah, man, even that little
like,
stuff, it's
yeah,
weird. Like some of
it's
that can
like,
just like turn your day around and be like, "Oh, it's not so bad."
exactly, yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
like, because it's always like the victim role, it's like, nothing's going right for me, and then it's like, hey, man, just go.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's that balance though of having gratitude but still trying to like uh better yourself or better
Yeah.
your situation, right? Or
Yeah.
it's not
Absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, I think you're a constant work in progress. I mean, you have to work on yourself. And if you don't, usually it's not the greatest things, that are in
Ye-
store for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Life can become kind of miserable.
Yeah. So, what have you learned about yourself throughout life? Like, what have you learned most about yourself, I guess I should say, throughout life?
Uh oh man. Um I don't know. That's tough. That's um despite everything we said, like I'm kind of selfish. Like I like doing things that I like to do.
Yeah.
um
Nothing
I
wrong
have
with
a
that.
yeah, there's again a balance of like doing the things I want to do and like doing things for other people.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um yeah,
I
I don't
like
know.
it.
I've learned a lot of things.
Yeah. No,
I've
that
learned
that's
when to
not a
say
bad thing, though.
no.
How to what?
How to say no.
Yeah.
Like that took a while to learn.
Yeah.
I always wanted people to like me. I always wanted, and then like as a musician, you're also taught like don't say no to things because then like the opportunities will just could stop
Yeah.
happening. But there are times to say no, like knowing what I'm worth and what's gonna make me feel good about doing something that somebody asks of me,
Yeah.
and if it's gonna take me somewhere like I don't really want to be, then like having the courage or whatever to stand up and be like,
Yeah.
no, that's not for me, or maybe be willing to miss opportunities if it's something that's not totally it doesn't totally fit or like something I'm not going to be totally comfortable with.
Right. Yeah, that's big, though. I like that. I mean, you gotta stand up for yourself, and I've been a people pleaser my whole entire life. It's hard to, and I think it was mainly just because I never liked conflict. So it was just like, you know,
Yeah, yeah, not many people do, right? It's not really
yeah,
enjoyable. That is where things change, but yeah.
yeah. And that was like my biggest thing. So I was like, well, if I say no, this could happen. But if I say yes, like, I don't want to do it, but, is it really that bad? At least I don't have to, get in a fight, or I don't have to argue for the next hour or whatever it may be. So, like you said, it was always yes, and people pleasing to a T no matter what. And it always backfired usually. So, it's
Yeah, you can only do
important
that
to,
so long before
yeah,
your resentment builds up and things explode
exactly.
in some weird way.
Exactly, on somebody who doesn't deserve it more than likely.
Yep,
So,
yep.
so I just have one more little thing, and then we'll get going. It's something I ask everybody, and I just think it's kind of neat to hear everyone's answers. So, if younger Benny was to walk through the door, what is one piece of advice you would give him?
Uh, 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 yeah, just to like know your limit without hurting yourself.
Okay, all right, I like it. Like, what do you mean? Like, elaborate a little bit.
I mean, just because like I partied to the point where like I fell and broke my jaw.
Oh, gotcha.
So like not having to push myself that much, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, yeah, yeah, kind of knowing when to.
Self-awareness.
Yeah, and yeah, knowing my limits a little bit earlier, or like maybe by listening rather than having to do it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, and I
Yeah.
I know I've read some like some proverb where it's like uh you can learn things by doing them yourself, but like a smart person can learn by also like watching and listening what happens to other people.
Yeah. I like it.
But I
I'm the
had to
same
do a
way.
lot of things myself and make a lot of mistakes in order to to
Well, and I
like not
think,
have to be there right myself and be in the thick of it.
yeah, and honestly, I'm a firm believer of, sometimes those decisions, those paths that we choose make you into the person that you are now. And, if you wouldn't have went down that road, maybe you wouldn't have met so and so, or maybe this wouldn't have happened, or,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever it may be. So it's always usually a purpose. I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it, but definitely, like, I wish, like, like, he told me a thousand times not to do this, and it's like, why didn't I just not do it? But here I
yeah,
am. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
there's definitely those for sure. Well, dude, thank you so much for being on the show.
Hey man, thanks
It's
for having it.
it's always a pleasure to talk to you, to see you. And are you like, are you guys advertising anything as far as gigs, or anything you want to shout out, or anything? Social media handles, anything at all?
Benny Cruz music.
Benny Cruz,
Yeah,
Beni.
yeah, Cruise. Yeah.
Okay.
When I'm writing original stuff and releasing it, that's how I'm releasing it. It's been slow going the last year or two,
Okay.
but
And
that's
then
my
what about,
goal. My goal is to try to make money off original music still.
you will, dude.
Despite what I said earlier about it being a grind and it's an uphill battle.
You will.
That's yeah.
No,
Cause like I was
you guys have the talent, and you have the, like, just the charisma and everything. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You know it.
yeah, just gotta stay consistent, man. That's one of my big
Mhm.
mantras. Consistency is key.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the name of, is it still the Ones and Twos?
Ones and twos, yeah, that's
Okay,
the band me and Maria both play with for the most part.
okay. And are you guys on Instagram or anything?
Yep.
Anybody looking for a amazing band to have at their wedding, graduation parties, anything, right? Pretty much any
Yeah.
gig?
Yeah, we've done a lot of different things.
Alright, cool. Well, that's awesome, man. Definitely check this guy out, check his wife out. They are,
Singer
is it
Maria Rose.
and do you still have stuff under, your guys' band as well out there or
Boudoir
no?
Noir, yeah, that's still out there.
Okay. Whatever happened, you guys still have any Maria Rose and the Swiss Kick stuff out there or what?
Yeah, yeah, like every year we get like 10 or 20 bucks of like royalty
Do you
money from
really?
yeah,
From
from like
what?
from like streaming and people buying random tracks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a nice little carrot. Like, just you can do stuff with this. It just
Yeah.
takes, again, consistency and
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
constant output.
Well, everybody go check him out. Please follow him, and give him a shout if you guys want him to play at your any of your gigs. Him, his wife, and there's how many people are in the band now? Like 6 or
It's up
7?
up to 9.
Up to 9. Okay. I was gonna say you
Yeah,
guys look like talking heads on one show I saw that you had on social media.
it's fun, man. It's fun.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Um, well, yeah, that's it. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in once again. If you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, Spotify or Apple, please do so now. Hit the like button, helps everything grow, helps this message grow. And as always, please stay hopeful, stay positive. If everything will work out in the end, and if it doesn't, it's usually not the end. So have a good one, folks.